we weren't supposed to see that. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 things in games players were never meant to see.
I need to go dancing, Carl, right now!
Okay, let's go.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be examining the hidden things in games that developers put there intentionally, but which players were never meant to find. To be clear, these aren't glitches, though some of them can be accessed by exploiting them. Number 10. Nether Space, World of Warcraft. While the name may sound like something you're supposed to journey through in World of Warcraft, Nether Space is actually a hidden area made by the developers. Reach through the walls of Karazhan via a variety of methods that have changed over time due to the developers trying and failing to patch it. Nether Space is a shadowy area within or between Karazhan that is home to a number of Easter eggs, such as a Nightbane that's asleep and an undead griffin. The developers have integrated it into the lore of the game though, citing it as the place Karazhan connects to the twisting Nether. Number 9. Dismemberment, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. If there's one thing the lightsabers in Star Wars are famous for, it's literally disarming people. However, video games have shied away from this feature, partly due to hardware limitations, but mostly because of censorship. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy can buck this trend though, as, with a few mods, players can use lightsabers with realistic effects, including blood and dismemberment, making for a much more realistic experience in battle, or at least as realistic as energy swords in space played in a video game can be. Number 8. South Park Pilot, Tiger Woods 99 PGA Tour Golf. Tiger Woods and South Park may seem like they'd only be connected through a parody on the show, but they had an unusual link in this late 90s game. Early copies of the PlayStation version of Tiger Woods 99 PGA Tour Golf had the short pilot episode of South Park included on them as a dummy file to fill out space. The pilot could not be watched on a PlayStation, although inserting the disc into a computer allowed it to be accessed. Naturally, once parents learned of the profane cartoon's presence in the game, there was an outcry and a recall.
I'm sorry, Jesus. No, it's me who should be sorry.
Number 7. Colossal Demo Creatures, Final Fantasy 15. Game demos are rarely known for being complete and bug-free experiences, and the 15th main Final Fantasy game is no exception. By exploiting several glitches, players could access off-limits areas of the game, where several massive beings could be found. One of them was a huge dinosaur-like creature with a long neck. The other major hidden landmark is a huge figure similar to the Greek titan Atlas, who is holding aloft an even larger piece of stone. While it's clear the developers meant for both to remain hidden, they should have known better than to try to keep things so big a secret. Number 6. Hidden Items Trove, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Hunting down items in open-world games can be a pain, particularly if you're looking for something rare or need to beat a difficult quest to attain it. But PC players of Skyrim have a very handy shortcut. Typing COC QA Smoke will take the player to a room preloaded with every item and weapon in the game like something out of the Matrix. The room is likely used by developers when playtesting to try out different items quickly, wherever or whenever they need them. Bethesda clearly uses this for all their games, as the same code can achieve a similar result in Fallout 4. Number 5. Mew, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. The near mythical 151st Pokemon, Mew is a very powerful and elusive pocket monster. Although intended to only be attained via special events, Mew's code is in the game and it can be caught by fulfilling a very specific glitch, much like the famous glitch Pokemon Missing No. However, unlike that bizarre bit of living code, Mew is meant to be in the game. By teleporting or flying before and after fighting certain trainers, the player can glitch the game into allowing you to fight and catch a Mew to use legally, albeit in an unorthodox fashion. Oh, and that whole truck thing is a myth. Number 4. The Dam, Shadow of the Colossus. This beloved PS2 game is notable for its expansive environments and stark landscapes, but there's actually even more of it to explore than most people know. The grid-like overworld map has several areas that are inaccessible normally, but through glitching or manipulating the data, the player can reach several areas, including a large, impressive-looking dam that would have been one of the biggest structures in the game. The area is speculated to have been intended as an arena to fight one of the game's titular Colossi, but ultimately scrapped during development. Number 3. Hot Coffee. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
You wanna have some coffee?
Coffee has long been a euphemism for sex, but video games have also adopted it for gameplay involving intercourse. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas includes in its code the ability to play a minigame nicknamed Hot Coffee, featuring poorly rendered sex acts between the protagonist and their chosen love interest. However, to access it, modding or cheats are necessary. Nevertheless, the discovery of the Hot Coffee mod led to a great deal of controversy among parents, politicians, and other people overly concerned with the video game content. Considering the mod led to lawsuits and recalls, the developers probably never intended for it to be seen.
You want coffee, baby?
Number 2. Eddie Eats Luther. Freddy Fish in the Case of the Missing Kelp Seeds.
Look, kids, why don't you just get out of here before I have to eat you?
A children's point-and-click adventure game series from the 1990s, the Freddy Fish games are about as kid-friendly as you can get for the most part, but this particular installment contains a surprisingly dark secret. In one scene, Freddy and his friend Luther question Eddie, an eel, who threatens to eat them. By changing the game's configuration files, the player can access an alternate scene where Freddy fantasizes about feeding Luther to Eddie, who devours the little fish. Most kids probably wouldn't have had the technical skills to find it, thus explaining its inclusion.
But we're looking for Grandma Grouper's kelp treasure. If we don't find it soon, all the fish are gonna die.
Number 1. All Bonds. GoldenEye 007. Arguably one of the most influential movie tie-in games and multiplayer shooters of the 1990s, GoldenEye 007 features a variety of playable characters in its multiplayer, but only consisting of those from the film it's based on. Or maybe not. It was long rumored that a cheat called All Bonds would allow players to play as every Bond character, and promotional images supported this myth. However, it wasn't until modding came around that it was discovered that the skins to play as every Bond until that point were part of the game, except George Lazenby. Developers probably couldn't secure the rights, which is why they were omitted from the final version. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.